I was wondering if we could talk a little bit more about starting teaching lessons, advice for people looking to build their studios, and maybe even specifically if you can talk a little bit about like building an inclusive, accessible studio. I think
Sure, yeah. So let me tackle one of those at a time. So we'll do the starting a studio, right? So for anyone under who's out there who is trying to start a studio, if I could go back in time and I could tell myself a couple things, it would be it's not going to happen right away. That's the first one. Be patient and be willing to do self growth on a continuous basis. You have to keep yourself updated, educated on the current, things that are showing up, like a new book and a new method, and the artists, and all these different things that maybe there was no time for when we were in school, because we all know that that's how it works in school. Um, so that would be the main thing. If you are trying to start a studio, there's a lot of moving parts. I get this question actually quite often in social media and stuff, just from teachers. Hey, I want to do my studio. Like, what did you do? Let me tell you, if I had just like a formula, I would just give it out. But there is no formula because it all depends on where you are in your life, what your resources are, where you live. I mean, it's literally everything. It's a lot easier to start a studio in a smaller town than LA. It's just, that's just how it is. And so there is no set formula. What I can do is tell you how I started it and about how long it took. And, you can kind of try to pull some lessons from those things. The first thing I did was I built a website in 2 days. That was the first thing I did. I made sure it looked really good. I put some pictures in there, put my bio, all these different things. And then I sent about 65 or 70 emails to all the band directors within a 30-mile radius. And I offered a free masterclass, brass masterclass for either trumpets or high brass or brass. And within 6 months, I had gotten about five. That's it. Five band directors actually responded, hey, sure, come out, free class. Why not? And I went out. I went out with like a pamphlet. This was back in 2014. Um, I went out with pamphlets and I taught the kids. They all really liked it. Out of those five band directors, three of them said, why don't you keep coming back every week and we'll pay you to do master classes? That was my first job in actual real music, aside from gigs, right out of my master's. And that turned into some of the kids that I went to teach every week. Their parents were like, hey, can he come to your house and take private lessons? I'm like, yes, he can. And so they would bring the kids. That's how it started. It's like I said, one day at a time, one step in front of the other. First, do this, then you do that. Then, based on what happens with that, you do the next thing, No one knows. I mean, it's possible that no one could have gotten back to me, and then I don't know what would have happened after that, but that would have been a different story to tell today. So I started doing that, and then, like I said, about a year later I came up with trumpet headquarters to try to do that. So if you're trying to start a business, the first thing you need is a website. Number one, the first thing you need is a website. The second thing is a brand. The best businesses out there stand out because they have something to stand out for. If your website looks exactly like every other teaching website, it's going to blend in. So maybe come up with an idea, a way that you are different from everyone else. Maybe you love playing the French horn and teaching French horn, and you are also a really great cook. Okay, so maybe on your website you could display your solos like a menu, you know? That's what it's all about. It's about having that twist on things. People find it really interesting. It's very inviting. It's different. People are excited. So Music Fit, for example, we do everything from an athletic point of view. So we don't practice, we work out, we do flex exercises, we do all these different things. Um, so a brand, big idea, and then finally treating your business like a business. So a lot of times I see in like in entrepreneurship, music groups and things like that, I don't know how to price myself, and maybe my prices are too high, and this one parent only wants to pay me after every lesson and things like that. get rid of all of that. You are a business. This is your living. And just like any other type of business, there has to be a level of respect for the industry that we're in, you know? Um, have them pay up front in advance. If they miss a lesson, well, it's like they didn't show up to school or to college class. It's all the same thing. Treat your business like the serious thing that it is so that people will see you in the same way.